One of my viewers is facing an incredibly frustrating problem. They are doing some marketing. They had a goal. They used a particular social media channel. It's not working for them. They want to switch to something that might be more effective, and their bosses said no. What on God's green earth are you supposed to do in that situation? I have some tips for you in this episode of the Library Marketing Show. Welcome back, everyone. My name is Angela Hursh. I run the blog superlibrarymarketing.com. You can head there and look for the Library Marketing Show tab to ask a question, suggest a topic for a future episode, or to nominate your library or another library doing great work in marketing for Kudos. We do have Kudos to give away in a few moments. Before we do that, if you're watching this video on YouTube, please be sure to subscribe to my channel. That way you get notified every time I post a video. And if you're like me, those notifications are really incredibly important. Also, if you find this video helpful, useful to you in any way, please give me a thumbs up. If you're watching on LinkedIn, same thing, give me a thumbs up or one of the other reactions if you find this video helpful. And make sure you follow, click the follow button so that you get a notification when I post. Okay, I have three tips for anybody who has faced this situation, which is you're doing marketing, you are measuring your promotions, and you realize after a certain amount of time that the thing you're doing is just not working. It's not helping you reach your goal. You got an idea that maybe something else would be more effective. You'd like to switch tactics, but your supervisors, your director, somebody says no. What do you do? First of all, let's understand that that no is probably coming from a place of fear. And we often talk about how libraries are afraid of change, but they're actually not. We did a ton of changing over the past couple of years. So they're able to change and be flexible in some areas, but that no is still coming from a place of fear. And the number one thing to do is to keep doing what you're doing. They want you to keep marketing on that channel. Okay. So we keep marketing and we keep demonstrating using data that it isn't working. And we keep advocating for the change. Sometimes it just takes a little while for our senior leaders to understand what we're saying and for us to really demonstrate that it isn't working. I have some experience with this. I wanted to start a blog at the library that I worked previous to my job at Novelist. It took me 5 years to get that change. I'm actually going to put a link down in the show description to a blog post that I wrote about that process. The number one lesson I learned is that you just have to keep asking and advocating. Number two, go to your friends in library marketing and collect success stories of other libraries doing the thing that you want to do, and use those to tell the story to your supervisors as you continue to advocate. So you can say, look at X library in this neighboring state. They had this exact same problem that we did. They decided to stop marketing on Twitter or whatever, and they decided to switch to digital signs in their library. And they had a 30% increase in the number of people who came up to the desk and registered for the program. You can demonstrate that other libraries are having success doing the thing that you want to do. That might alleviate some of the fear of the supervisors who are saying no. My number 3 tip is a little subversive. What happens if you just do it anyway? Like, keep marketing on the channel that's not working, but add in the thing that you want to add in. It's a little more work for you. And it depends on how comfortable you feel in your job and in your ability to ask for forgiveness later. I have also done this, not at my current job, but at my previous job, just kind of did it anyway and asked for forgiveness later, because what happened was I did the thing they didn't want me to do. And then I had data to prove that it worked better than the thing that I was doing currently that wasn't working. I hope that makes sense. So I hate to tell you to be a little bit of a rebel, but it might work in this case. And if you feel comfortable doing that, I think it's maybe a good tactic to go about. I'm curious, many of you in this audience probably have faced this problem before. What advice do you have for this fellow viewer of the Library Marketing Show? Let's get a conversation started down in the comments. What would you advise that this person do? Thank you for writing in. And now it's time for Kudos. And Kudos today is going to the Columbus Metropolitan Library here in Ohio, and they have a new beer at a local brewery, Library Red Ale, at the Land Grant Brewing Company, which is so cool and a great way to market their library. Every time somebody comes into this brewery, the library's name is like right there in front of them, and they order the beer and it's up there on the sign, and they get to be part of this brewery's marketing, and they get to reach a new audience of people who might not have known that the library existed or what it provides. It's also like a great way to get into a space to be able to do some programming and outreach. So I'm going to put a link to a really cool post that I saw on LinkedIn with a video of this down in the show description if you're watching on YouTube, or the comments if you're watching on LinkedIn, so you can see it too. And congratulations to the Columbus Metropolitan Library. That's all we have for today's episode, but I've got lots more tips for library marketing on my channel. If you're interested to keep learning, click on this video and I'll see you there.